Hey everyone, Michael O'Brien here. Today we're going to be talking about ways to get your audience emotionally invested in your performance. Alright everyone, today we're actually at the Orange County Fair. I had a gig here not too long ago and I thought, you know what, I'm going to go ahead, grab myself a beverage and hang out with you guys and talk about something that I think is really important when it comes to your performance, and that is getting your audience emotionally invested. Now before I do that, I wanted to thank all of you so much. All of you guys who come to my channel and watch all my videos, you guys are awesome. I really appreciate all of your support. If you're seeing my videos for the first time, you don't know who I am. I'm a professional magician in Orange County. I've been doing magic for over 10 years as a working professional. And I like to offer some advice on different things that I discovered along the way to help improve your magic. So if you're not already, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because every week we're going to be putting out awesome videos, magic performances, tutorials, advice for magicians, etc. So anyways, let's go ahead and jump into this video. I wanted to talk about ways that you get your audience emotionally invested. And the best way to do that is to get them directly involved in your performance. Now there's 3 different ways to do that. Number 1, give them a choice. Now what do I mean by that? Anytime you do some kind of effect, try to include the audience in the decision-making process as much as possible. For example, let's just say you're going to be doing a sandwiching routine in which the 2 kings find the audience's selected card. Simply look to a spectator in the audience and say, sir, excuse me, would you like me to use the black kings or the red kings? It doesn't matter what they say, it's not going to change the routine at all, but you gave them a choice. You know, you let them choose which ones they wanted to use, the black kings or the red kings. It's just another way to get more people in the audience directly involved in what's going on. Because the more directly involved they are, the more they're going to want to actually participate, the more they're going to be invested, the more they're going to care. As performers, we have this tendency to focus on the spectator that we brought up with us, which is fine. You know, you should give them the focus. They should be the star of the show. But you don't want to forget about your audience. You know, sometimes the audience is just kind of chilling there. And I've seen some performances, and I'll be honest with you, I'm guilty of this myself sometimes, where the magician does not even acknowledge that there is an audience. It's almost like they're just performing one-on-one for somebody. So it's very important that you get your audience involved as much as possible. So one of the easiest ways to do that is to simply ask them a question, let them in on the decision-making process. The second one is to delegate the responsibilities. Going along the lines with the same thought process of the asking a question, when you have a spectator up with you, helping you out with the routine, delegate responsibilities by having different people in the audience help with the effect. For example, let's just say you're going to do an ambitious card type effect. You have the spectator select a card, and then before you put the card back in, look to someone in the audience and say, sir, excuse me, I'm just going to go like this with my thumb. You say stop anytime you want. They say stop. You put the card in the middle. You say right there. The card's going to go right where you stopped me. And then, of course, you do a control. You move the card up to the top. You could have easily just taken the card, put it in, and shuffled it. But by delegating the responsibilities, you gave someone in the audience an opportunity to assist you when they just didn't necessarily even have to. And that goes also along the lines of asking them a question. You know, you gave them an opportunity to say stop anytime they wanted. They were happy with that. It's going to add an extra layer to make it feel like they had more control. But at the same time, nothing changed. It's the same thing. And plus, more people are involved. You're delegating responsibilities. Now, if you wanted to kick this up to 11, what you can easily do is have the entire audience participate all at once to help you select a card. For example, you can say, you know, call out someone in the audience or maybe toss them a ball or something and say, I want you to think of any color, red or black. Let's just say they say red. You say, perfect, toss the ball to someone else. They throw the ball to someone else, and you ask them. He chose red, so you have the hearts and the diamonds. Which would you like to use? They say diamonds. Toss the ball to someone else. All right, you got number cards and you got face cards. Which would you like to use? They say number cards. You say, all right, so you have 1 through 10. Choose any number. Spectator says 7. All right, cool. So we got the 7 of diamonds. You just had everyone in the audience participate together to choose a card. You could have easily just walked up to someone and said, here, choose a card. Right? So it makes everyone in the audience feel like they're part of it. Like they helped choose the card, they're going to be more emotionally invested. Last but not least, and this is perhaps the most important one out of all of them, put the magic in their hand. Okay? Now what do I mean by that? Anytime you do any kind of effect, you want to try to get your audience to touch the props, to have their hand in the effect as much as possible. For example, I could put a sponge ball in this hand and a sponge ball in this hand. It disappears from here and appears over here, and it'll get some cool reactions. But if I were to put the sponge ball in this hand, hand another one to another spectator, make it vanish from my hands completely and appear in theirs, the reactions are almost multiplied like tenfold, because it's so much stronger that it actually happened in their hands. And on top of that, you can even take a step back for a minute and let them be the star of the show. So it's really cool, it's really easy, and it doesn't necessarily require you to do anything extra. For example, for those of you who are familiar with my effect Tour de Force, it's a in the hands triumph type effect in which half the cards are shuffled face up, half the cards are shuffled face down. There's a moment in that routine where before I square everything up, I show the faces and the backs of the cards so that they can see that they truly are mixed. And then I would just square everything up, do the triumph, and spread it out so that everything has corrected itself. But what I've started doing is not squaring up the cards myself, but asking a spectator to square up the cards for me. And like I said, this doesn't change anything. This literally adds nothing to the handling. The moves are identical. All of it's the same. But what it does is it makes the audience feel like they had control over part of the process. They feel like they squared up the cards, so it would be impossible for me to manipulate the decks. They did it themselves, right? So it's very, very easy to find little ways like that to get your audience directly involved. Well, everyone, I hope you enjoyed that. Like I said, my name is Michael O'Brien. If you enjoyed this content, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel. Also, if you have any questions for me, anything I didn't answer in this video, or if you want to see me talk about, a question that you have on something completely different, I'll be happy to make a video about it sometime in the near future. Or if you have any suggestions for different ways that you like to get your audience more invested in their performance, please go ahead and share those suggestions in the comment section. I'd like to see what they are, and I'm sure the rest of you guys would like to see as well. Again, my name is Michael O'Brien. Thank you so much for watching this video. Stay tuned next week as I talk to you guys about easy ways to get your name out there into clients' hands to get more gigs. See you next week.